So the question that everybody wants to know the answer to is, does it work? And the short answer is yes. Nobody gets worse and nobody fails to improve at all. So along the continuum between very difficult to understand and very easy to understand, people are starting at different points all along there. Some people may have a lot of progress to make and some may not. So the amount of progress and the pace of progress is different for every individual and depends on so many different variables. However, I do have some suggestions from people that have been very successful. What did they do? And the number one thing is, the thing that nobody wants to hear, is practice. It's a skill like anything else, like learning to play the piano or learning to play soccer. You have to practice your lifelong habit of how you've been doing something. So if you've been speaking and sounding in one way for a long time, to make changes to that, it's also going to take a long time, but it also means changing your habits and creating new ones so you get used to speaking in a different way. And that takes patience. But along the way, you can have fun. You should experiment and have fun with it. And the people that have fun making different sounds, trying different things, just how does it sound? And having fun is important to squash that little doubt in the back of your head that may say, if I speak like this, the Americans might think I'm making fun of them, or they'll notice what I'm doing and ask me, why am I talking like that? But they won't, really. If you are easier to understand, they don't know why. You are learning many more details about the spoken language than they even know. So they will just notice that you're easier to understand. And you'll have to get over feeling uncomfortable, sounding different, until it's not uncomfortable anymore. So you have to feel uncomfortable until you don't feel uncomfortable anymore. And how do you know that it's working? This is one of the most difficult things that people don't realize, but can be taught to look for. When you are difficult to understand, people ask you all the time, could you repeat that? What did you say? They make the facial expressions of I'm trying really hard. And you get a lot of negative feedback. But when you're doing things well and you're understood easily, you don't get any positive feedback because nobody stops to say, you said that great. You sounded wonderful. They just understand your meaning and they keep going. The conversation keeps going. They answer your questions. So you have to learn and you have to practice looking for the absence of negative feedback as your positive feedback. And this could be facial expression. You could see the lack of the confused eyebrows. You could see smiling, nodding as they follow what you say. Or it could just be continuing the conversation, that there's maybe not the awkward pauses that there used to be, or that people instigate conversation more with you now than they used to, or conversations last longer than they used to. So you have to look for those positive things that are so easy to overlook when the negative things are so hard to ignore. And gaining confidence that you will be understood and that the thing that you tried that used to make you feel uncomfortable had a positive result will motivate you to do it again and again, and that will create an upward spiral, and that will create rewards to keep going and keep going. And that's my goal for everyone.